All mentor-mentee relationships are unique. Some are very formal, and you may officially ask someone to be your mentor and start off with clear expectations and know exactly how long each meeting's going to be and how many meetings you're going to have. Others may be much more casual. In fact, maybe you're just watching somebody from afar and observing how they do things. Or maybe you grab an occasional coffee or lunch. Others are very structured, and maybe there's an agenda that the mentee creates in advance of the meetings and questions that they'll send the mentor in advance to ponder what was going on and what's going to be discussed. On the other side, other relationships are just a back and forth conversation. And I'll say I've benefited from all of those different constructs over the years. There's no right or wrong structure. It really just depends on what works for you and your mentor, given the very specific situation that you're in. When I was a new mom and free time was non-existent, I did the more casual route for mentor relationships. And I sought out other working moms just to get their advice. And I had one lunch 17 years ago that still sticks with me today. And my mentor was a couple levels above me in the organization. And she asked me how I was adjusting back from maternity leave. And I gave her the very honest answer that Thursdays was rough. I had to leave work to take my son to occupational therapy. And in the commute back and forth and the racing back and forth, I felt very unproductive and I felt frazzled. And she then asked, well, would you want to switch to part-time? And I said, well, I hadn't thought of anything that extreme, but just teleworking that one day a week would relieve an enormous burden. So even though no one in the history of the trading room that I worked in had ever teleworked, within 1 week she made that happen. Now, my son had therapy probably for about 4, maybe 6 months, but I continued to telework for the next 15 years. So until COVID hit and everyone was teleworking. So I realized at some point I converted from needing her to be my mentor and help make that happen to my becoming a role model and showing others that I could be promoted to VP, SVP, even EVP by having that working construct in place. So never underestimate the power of one conversation with a mentor. I want to hear your story. How has a mentor helped shape your life?